In this segment of the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis, we embark on a journey that connects various cultures through the symbolism of creation and cosmology. Brace yourself for an epic exploration that will blow your mind. We start off with the ancient Egyptians and Hebrews, uncovering intriguing similarities in their symbolic systems. The Egyptians used the image of the sacred bull and cow, representing the sun, the Nile, fire, and the life-generating forces. These symbols were intertwined with a cow-headed woman and a man with the head of a bull. Get ready for some mind-blowing ancient wisdom. Interestingly, these symbols were associated with important cyclical time periods like tropical and lunar years. Can you believe it? A symbol-packed journey through time and space awaits. Next up, we delve into the Hebrew perspective. Unlike the Egyptians, the Hebrews viewed God as beyond human comprehension, a divine entity separate from humanity. The concept of Ein Sof, meaning without limits, represented this unfathomable divinity. It was symbolized by a circle with a diametral line passing through it. Deep stuff, right? But wait, there's more. This passage takes us deeper into the connection between religious symbolism and time measurements, showing how temples and sacred places incorporated these concepts into their architecture. We also explore the sacredness of reproduction and the generative organs, delving into their reflections in sacred texts and religious structures of the time. Mind-blowing. And here's the cherry on top. The passage dives into the Jewish Kabbalah and Ein Sof, metaphysically comparing it to Parabrahman. But hold on, we're not done yet. We also explore Hindu and Chaldean practices, highlighting contrasts and similarities in their modes of worship. And guess what? The number 7 takes the stage as a significant symbol in religious symbolism, especially in the Jewish context, related to the Sabbath and the moon. But hey, it's not just about Judaism. This number holds relevance in other cultures and belief systems as well. Mind blown. So there you have it. The ancient ones encoded their understanding of the universe, divinity, and creation into intricate symbolic structures that transcend time and cultures. These symbols reflect the connection between sacred space, geometry, and the eternal dance between the finite and the infinite. Get ready to venture into the mysterious universe unraveled in the Secret Doctrine. As we flip through the pages of the Secret Doctrine, we are confronted with a mesmerizing intersection of mythologies and beliefs that blur the line between the divine and the human, where numbers and astrology intertwine in a cosmic dance. This segment uncovers the veils of wisdom hidden within the measurements and calculations of the Jews, revealing a knowledge that transcends the passing of mere days. Brace yourself for a cosmic journey through lunar cycles and astronomical periods that influence our lives. The soul of this narrative lies in the allegory of the Zohar, where mythical characters carry hidden truths. We dive deep into the ocean, where weight becomes knowledge, and names conceal roots that delve into the divine nature. Picture a profound abyss, a fish that dwells and consumes the vastness of the sea, echoing stories like that of Vishnu, and cultures that saw divinity in the immense unknown of the oceans. Fascinating, isn't it? But beware, the text guides us with a lantern, shedding light on the fact that even the most elevated esoteric concepts can be distorted through religious practices. The duality of Bina allows us to glimpse through the keyhole of the unknown, with its ambiguous nature as both creator and destroyer, a lunar divinity that, when viewed through the lens of fear and ignorance, transforms into the proverbial serpent, the adversary, even the devil himself. Get ready to lift the veil and witness the intertwined threads woven through Christian theology, connecting Mary, the Virgin Mother, with this multifaceted lunar figure, simultaneously mother, child, and adult man, in a religious triad that gravitates between splendor and shadow. The scriptures, whether Jewish or Christian, often reflect twisted mythologies, laden with symbolism that confuses genuine spirituality with a grotesque romanticization of the divine. These intentional contradictions highlight the importance of uncovering the hidden wisdom within these ancient stories. By misinterpreting them, we worship distorted representations of higher truths, resulting in a labyrinth of beliefs that lead us away from true understanding of the cosmos and ourselves. Get ready for a thrilling journey through the passage of knowledge. Our exploration of Section 114 reinforces the search for understanding, delving into the significance of the moon in cosmogony and urging us to discern between symbols delivered to humanity as part of a secret doctrine, not as accessible as it seems, and the literal representation that causes conflict and confusion in contemporary religious practices. We find ourselves in a mosaic of beliefs, requiring a journey to the depths of the sea of mythologies, occult sciences, and perhaps even the human soul. Hang on tight, because we're about to uncover the secrets of the moon. Get ready for a jaw-dropping journey through time as we uncover the mystical arcanas of the moon and its reflection in ancient traditions, entwined with modern concepts of magic and astronomy. We plunge into the shadows of the triple goddess, Artemis, wearing the cloak of Caliste, who holds not only the secrets of birth and creation, but also the enigmatic realms of nature's darkness. Brace yourself for a wild ride. Greek mythology unveils the dual role of Artemis, protector of births, and simultaneously the Orphic goddess Hecate, guardian of lunar mysteries, both revered and feared. The moon, with its 1,000 faces, was honored by the ancients in its multifaceted aspects, and the associated deities, including Nephthys, Proserpina, Cybele, Isis, Astarte, Venus, and Hecate, just to name a few, reflect a spectrum of intricate representations and symbolism. Hold on to your seats. The lunar magnetism, that invisible and influential power, was both revered and feared. It was seen as a source of life and death, a paradox in itself, illustrating the complexity of lunar worship, which often coexisted with solar worship, leading to conflicts of cults and symbols throughout the ages. The worship of celestial bodies, including the moon, can be perceived in religious practices that have survived through various transformations, resonating even in contemporary Christian rituals. Mind-blowing, right? But the moon, that enigmatic celestial body, has always been shrouded in mystery. Adored at times as female and at others as male, its symbolism reaches far beyond astronomical phenomena, delving into the Dade. Welcome back, my fellow bookworms. Today, we are diving deep into the mystical and esoteric world of the Secret Doctrine Part 1, Cosmogenesis by Helena Blavatsky. Hold on tight because we're in for a mind-bending journey through ancient symbols, spiritual connections, and hidden meanings. Are you ready? Let's go. In this segment, we explore the fascinating connection between pagan and Christian beliefs, specifically how the ancient pagan idea of solar and lunar deities fertilizing the earth compares to the Christian interpretation of the Virgin Mary as a maternal figure. It's like a cosmic clash of ancient beliefs and modern Christianity. The author highlights how the Latin Church, in their attempt to Christianize these old concepts, ended up blending the ideal of the Virgin Mary with polytheistic notions. Talk about a divine mix-up. But that's not all. We also unravel the intricate ties between ancient pagan rituals and Christian practices and dogmas. It's like a spiderweb of religious connectivity spanning across centuries and cultures. The text even mentions how the early Christians incorporated pagan symbols like the sun, the moon, stars, water, and fire into their religious practices. It's a cosmic mashup of the old and the new. And guess what? The ancient symbol of wisdom, renewal, and spiritual complexity, the snake, also makes its grand entrance. Ah, the snake, such a misunderstood creature. It symbolizes hidden knowledge, constant regeneration, and the endless flow of time. It's like a metaphorical roller coaster ride through the realms of esotericism. But hold on, my friends, we're not done yet. The symbolism behind the snake goes deeper. We explore the fascinating connection between serpents and the moon, both representing hidden wisdom. In ancient times, the initiates were often depicted as serpents or dragons, not because they were actual snakes. No, it's all about guarding secret knowledge. It's like they were devouring wisdom, absorbing it into their beings. Oh, the duality. The snake also symbolizes light shining in the darkness, just like the concept of the woman of light who illuminates the path to wisdom. It's like a cosmic flashlight guiding us through the realms of spirituality. But wait, there's more. The snake also represents the adversary, the dragon, in opposition to the Virgin Mary. It's all about celestial victory over the challenges of human existence. Just like Hercules defeating 2 snakes at birth, symbolizing triumph over wisdom and courage, the snake embodies eternal renewal and rejuvenation. Isn't this all mind-blowing? We're just scratching the surface of the snake's symbolism here. It's often misunderstood or simplified in modern times, but its origins run deep. The snake was associated with wise human beings, not reptiles. Its role as a messenger of hidden knowledge and a symbol of eternal renewal still resonates with us today. As we delve into these mysteries, we discover the complex relationship between the snake and humanity's spiritual and philosophical development. It's like a mystical dance between the cosmos and our collective journey towards understanding and enlightenment. And just when you think we couldn't go any deeper, we plunge into the esoteric essence of the number 7. We're talking cosmic constellations, divine spirits, and ancient wisdom here. The cosmos becomes our playground, divided into 4 spheres, each governed by powerful spirits, resonating with the symbolism of the number 7. It's like a cosmic game of connect the dots, revealing hidden knowledge about our human nature and our connection to the divine. And what about the goddess? Oh, she takes the stage, connected to the number 7, the pinnacle of all mysteries. She emerges as the living transcendental word, holding implications that span from primitive understanding of time to sophisticated systems of knowledge. It's like the ultimate cosmic power. But wait, there's more. The ancient Egyptians, in their astronomical observations, understood the interconnectivity of the cosmos. They recognized the crocodile as a symbol of the sun, the moon, and the mechanism of time. Talk about seeing the bigger picture. This symbolism even carries over into alchemy, where the crocodile swimming in the waters of space becomes a catalyst for mystical transformations, shaping philosophical gold. And let's not forget the ancient Chinese view of constellations, with spirits ruling over each direction. Their complex cosmic influences are reflected in every aspect of our lives. It's like a celestial map guiding us through the vastness of existence. But here's an intriguing twist. Throughout history, the snake's image has evolved from wise and enchanting to evil and demonized. However, if we dive deeper, we'll discover that this reptilian symbol holds sacred aspects. It represents hidden wisdom and esoteric truth, guiding souls through the turbulent seas of existence. The text also takes us on a journey into the depths of ancient knowledge, where understanding the cycles of the 7 regions of the world was the key to becoming a true sage or magician. These cycles and periods unveil the purest form of wisdom, but they're only accessible to those brave enough to explore these hidden paths. So, my fellow seekers of knowledge, let's embrace the intricate web of numerology, astrology, and esoteric theories woven into our traditions and our pursuit of wisdom. It's like unraveling the cosmic threads that connect us all and embracing the guidance of the hidden dragons of wisdom. And there you have it, my friends, a taste of the mystical secrets and hidden truths waiting to be discovered in the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Remember, this is just the tip of the cosmic iceberg, so if you're thirsty for more, dive into this mind-expanding journey and let the ancient symbols guide you towards enlightenment. Until next time, keep exploring and keep expanding your horizons. Hey there, bookworms! Welcome back to another mind-blowing book summary on my channel. Today, we're diving into the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Brace yourselves because this book takes us on an epic journey through ancient wisdom and mysterious symbols. We unravel the hidden connections between different religions, question traditional views of good and evil, and explore the cyclical nature of the universe. So, grab your popcorn and get ready for a mind-expanding adventure. In one scene, we stumble upon a Latin cross in the hands of Anubis, an Egyptian god. This mind-blowing encounter unveils unimaginable ties between Greek and Egyptian gods and the Christian teachings we know today. It turns out that early expressions of Christianity were heavily influenced by pagan traditions until the 6th century. Yeah, mind blown. Christian symbols like the birth of the sun or the image of a mother and child trace back to ancient and interconnected legacies. This mind-boggling web of religious eclecticism challenges our understanding of spiritual history. As we dig deeper into ancient manuscripts, a veil is lifted to reveal that Christian dogmas, such as sun worship, tree reverence, and sacred animal rituals, were not autonomous inventions, but rather a mosaic of older beliefs. The book also delves into the representation of evil as an integral force opposed to good but necessary for the dynamism of life. It challenges the concept of 2 eternal absolutes, and emphasizes that evil was seen as an integral part of the whole in ancient teachings. Let's fast forward to another intriguing part of the book. Here we explore the concept of evil and figures like Satan. We're introduced to a profound understanding that evil is not an independent entity, but paradoxically intertwined with the good and the divine. It highlights the universal need for balance, where seemingly opposing forces coexist. We witness how the personification of the adversary evolved throughout time, from figures like Narada in Hindu literature to the idea of a separate god of evil. This shift occurred as people moved away from philosophical pantheism and embraced a personified and merciful God who required an opposing counterpart to explain the injustices and evils of the material world. The book also challenges the common perception of evil as Satan, the embodiment of absolute darkness. It invites us to reflect on the origins of evil, suggesting that its role goes beyond simplistic interpretations. Evil is seen as an essential force in opposition to good, necessary for the dynamics of life. As we journey through ancient doctrines and mystical symbols, we encounter the symbolic meaning of 7 flames and their 49 subdivisions, reflecting the esoteric concept of multiple principles or souls left on different planes after death. Throughout these chapters, we're invited to explore the complexity and interconnectedness of myths and symbols. We're reminded that the struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos, exists in a deeper philosophical and scientific perspective. Each mythological war signifies a phase in cosmic evolution and the spiritual journey. These ancient tales hold the eternal secrets of the universe and the integral role we play in this cosmic drama. Wow, can you believe the incredible depth and richness of this book? It immerses us in a vast ocean of ancient wisdom, where the origins of celestial wars and the concept of a fall are explored through the deep legends of ancient India. We unravel multiple narratives of celestial battles, reminding us that stories, like life, have many layers and interpretations. We encounter the notion that the universal soul is not a passive cause of creation, but rather an intellectual essence manifested within the cosmos. In these chapters, we also confront critical views of Hindu scriptures, echoing the prejudices often found in Western interpretations of non-European religions. The text highlights the irony of defeated gods appealing to deity Vishnu after their fall, seemingly contradictory given Vishnu's perceived impassiveness. However, we're guided to recognize this as a misinterpretation arising from a limited understanding of Puranic and Vedic texts. Can you handle the intellectual journey we're embarking on? This book challenges conventional wisdom, sheds light on the interconnectedness of ancient beliefs, and pushes us to see the world beyond black and white. So, strap in and open your minds, because the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis, is about to blow your socks off. And that's a wrap, my book-loving friends. I hope you enjoyed this mind-expanding journey through the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Stay tuned for more exciting book summaries that will stimulate your intellect and leave you craving for more. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your fellow book enthusiasts. Until next time, keep exploring and expanding your minds. See you soon. Imagine a mythical battlefield where gods and demons not only vie for control of the 3 worlds, but also for dominion over spiritual truths. This is the scenario we encounter in segment 14 of Part 5 of the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Here, the Daityas or Asuras, demonic beings, are seduced by Mahamoha, great illusion, through deceit, just as Eve was deceived by the serpent. As a result, they forsake the teachings of the Vedas, the ancient sacred texts. The story unfolds with the Daityas abandoning their deeply rooted beliefs and questioning the validity of Vedic sacrifices. They echo a discourse that values logic and reasoning over blind faith. They challenge the effectiveness of bloodshed in the name of religion, dismiss the benefits of ritual offerings, and even suggest the hypocrisy of animal sacrifices. Their metaphorical armor of justice, which once protected them, is destroyed by their own doubts and questioning, thus making them vulnerable to the attacks of the gods. Unable to defeat the Daityas, who followed the mandates of the Vedas, the gods now come armed with illusion to corrupt them and pave the way for their eventual defeat. Vishnu, a major deity in the Hindu pantheon, is portrayed here as the architect of this grand deception. He descends to earth and utilizes Mayamoha, the great illusion, to deceive the Daityas, leading them astray from the right path and rendering them susceptible to the gods' attack. This account, found in the Hindu texts known as the Puranas, is not a simple narrative. It is a reflection of complex philosophies and beliefs from the time it was written. Even the notion of deceit attributed to a deity carries a deeper and esoteric meaning, most likely related to specific practices and teachings of the initiated. In addition to reflecting a rich and multifaceted tradition, this episode reveals how myths from ancient cultures serve as allegories for conveying profound concepts about ethics, truth, and moral relativism. Ultimately, the battle between gods and demons, truth and illusion, presents us with a representation of humanity's eternal quest for understanding the cosmic forces that govern its existence and its place within these mystical structures. At the heart of ancient traditions and cosmologies lies the idea of a hierarchy of creative forces, concepts that can only be unraveled through a comparative analysis of ancient religions. We encounter the vision of an original principle that is the source of everything, an intelligence that permeates the universe and which over time has been interpreted in various ways by different cultures. Throughout the centuries, as societies divided and settled, the perception of this primal principle underwent transformation. Some cultures began worshipping the forces of nature as divine entities, while others completely denied any intelligence behind these forces. Nevertheless, many ancient texts refer to an unknown and obscure entity or state that is beyond everything, called the unknown darkness or abyss, which precedes all things and from which everything emerges. This idea can also be seen in Hesiod's Theogony and Homer's poems, where the first being or principle is not directly named. Proclus, an ancient philosopher, refers to this principle as a unity of units, beyond expression or essence. As we delve further into antiquity, we discover that great nations held similar views about this unique source of all things, although the details and creative intermediaries vary from one tradition to another. For the Greeks, this source was not the immediate creator of the universe, a comparison emphasized by Thomas Taylor, who highlights that no architect builds with their own hands, but rather designs and plans creation. Within Norse mythology, we find parallels with Indian cosmogony, where before everything there existed an abyss, an endless nothing. From the will of the Father of all emerge beings and elements until creation is free. Creation is divided into two phases, showing an original source unfolding into various creators, an idea also found in the Rig Veda and in the teachings of Pythagoras and Plato regarding the monad and the dyad. This reference to the point within the circle, or the monad, as the first cause of all creation, and the logos as the expression of that cause, is a shared conception among various spiritual and philosophical traditions worldwide. And this conception of the logos, or verbum, is the central esoteric aspect that transcends later theological interpretations and represents the true nature of the creative source. Ultimately, as we explore these ideas, we understand that ancient wisdom did not include a creator in a human sense in their theogonies. The principle that is both one and multiple simultaneously inhabits a domain beyond comprehension and direct expression, a domain where there is no beginning or end, but an immanent presence that substantially permeates the essence of everything that exists. We now dive into the depths of a primordial theogony, where cosmogony is unveiled through Vedic wisdom. Imagine an unfathomable infinity, an existence beyond our usual understanding. That is where we encounter Parabrahman, the inexpressible absolute, the unknown fabric from which the cosmos is made. Through the eyes of T. Subaru, we are revealed that the entire ego or individual consciousness in the cosmos is a reflection and manifestation of this unique source. Visualize Parabrahman as an immense calm sea during Pralaya, a state of latency. When the universe vibrates during Manvantara, our cycle of existence, this essence becomes conscious, individualized. But make no mistake, we are not talking about a single spark. Rather, we are speaking of a starry field of energy centers dancing in the vastness of Parabrahman, each one an individual expression, infinitely connected to the whole. So how do these energy centers arise? They unfold from the logos, the ordering principle, the spiritual sunrise projecting light and life. This very logos is presented in different forms across various spiritual traditions. In Norse mythology, we see Odin and his brothers emerging even before Yggdrasil, the tree of life, or Valhalla. Just as in Greek mythology, Zeus is born from Kronos, time. The concept of creation and evolution brings forth the understanding of the logos as both the son and the father of itself, an esoteric reflection of the eternal cycles of the cosmos. This idea expands into Hebrew Kabbalah, where Ein Sof, the limitless, cannot be known or named, only perceived as an infinite expansion, a circumference symbolizing humanity's farthest understanding. In summary, the passage leads us to a comprehension that is both abstract and concrete. The logos acts as an agent of energy, light, and life diffused throughout space. This is not merely philosophy, but also a description of the energy that animates everything in our manifested world. Above all, the text emphasizes the complex relationship between the logos, the intelligence shaping reality, and the raw material of the universe or mula prakriti. This great illusion, material is simultaneously the veil and stage for the action of the logos. It is this interaction that brings everything into existence, and it is through this interaction that energies become known and knowable. This vision is a reconciliation between spirituality and material manifestation, between the absolute and the relative. It shows us a cosmology where duality is only apparent, while unity is the true nature of being. Every aspect of the cosmos, from the most insignificant stone to the highest ego, is a vital component in the infinite dance of creation. Therefore, what we explore here is not a simple act of creation, but a continuous blossoming of consciousness manifesting in all forms and beings. Delving deep into the ocean of ideas that is the Secret Doctrine, we now find ourselves in segment 17 of part 5, where the discussion revolves around the relationship between the divine and the comprehensible, the cosmos and human understanding. Here we are presented with the idea that, within the vast circle of the unfathomable, the means of connection between the divine Ein Sof and human intelligence is the logos, a concept also known in various spiritual traditions as Avalokitesvara, the word, or the creative word. The logos is described as emerging from the bosom of Parabrahman during creation, much like our own ego awakens from deep sleep. However, this logos, while vital in creation, is as unfathomable to us as Parabrahman. The ultimate reality is to it. The text then takes us on a journey through the road of metaphorical personifications to illustrate the idea of the logos, traversing different traditions and names such as Brahma, Ormuzd, Osiris, and Adam Kadmon, all portraying aspects of this creative power. These deities are associated with the Dhyan Chohans, the Elohim, the Devas, each with their roots and germs explained as emanations of the logos. Specifically, the female figure of Vach enters the stage as the divine voice, the carrier of esoteric wisdom, alluded to as the mother of the Vedas. She manifests in various forms, from the highest abstraction to the manifested word. The paragraph weaves connections between various cultures, showing how Vach, the Shekinah of Judaism, and even the music of the spheres in Pythagoras' teachings share a role in transmitting divine wisdom. We continue with a detailed exploration of the four forms of Vach, from the supreme and inaccessible state to the concrete speech we hear and perceive. Each form is interconnected with aspects of the cosmos and creation, resulting in the understanding that the universe itself is a manifestation of this divine speech. Welcome back, my fellow book lovers. Today we are diving into the mystical and fascinating world of the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. In this segment, we are invited to explore the myriad ways in which the creative essence manifests itself, encompassing various traditions and symbolisms. We will ponder the impact of the logos and the role of language in transcending the physical and connecting us with the divine. Now in Chapter 18, Part 5, we delve into the intricate nuances of esoteric concepts from ancient traditions, unveiling the veil of creation and universal harmony. The central idea revolves around the symbolic interpretation of numbers and deities in the formation of the cosmos, and their intrinsic relationship with mathematical and harmonic laws. You see, in various ancient traditions, the act of creation and the sustenance of the world are often associated with the idea of harmony and music, concepts that followers of Pythagoras held in high regard. Inspired by his time in India, Pythagoras propagated the belief that everything in the universe could be translated into numbers and mathematical proportions. This is why disciplines such as arithmetic, astronomy, geometry, and music were given great importance. They held the key to understanding the hidden order of the universe. As we delve deeper into the numerical symbolism of Kabbalah and Pythagoreanism, we encounter the recurring numbers 3, 7, and 10. These numbers represent a series of fundamental structures of the cosmos and divinity. For example, in esotericism, the number 10 is the synthesis of 3 and 7, representing both the divine trinity and the totality of celestial emanations. In Hindu mythology, we come across a story that, at first glance, might seem controversial, involving the god Brahma in an act of creation associated with incest. However, it is clarified that this act has a cosmic rather than physiological meaning. The argument is that this narrative should be understood as an allegory for the interaction between the divine essence and nature, prakriti, resulting in manifestations of life. Now, let's talk about the goddess Vach. She appears in various forms, sometimes as the primordial chaos, and other times as the voice that gives existence to the world, emphasizing her role as the voice of creation. Vedic mythology portrays Vach as the personification of sound and speech, responsible for nurturing and sustaining the physical existence of the earth. Pythagoras conceptualized the creation of the world from a single point, expanding into dualities and multiple forms. This process of manifestation is governed by a principle of unity and harmony, reflected in the music of the celestial spheres, a concept that, despite its beauty, remains inaudible to human ears. These symbolic narratives essentially describe the interrelation between the divine and the manifested, the eternal and the temporal, and the invisible and the visible, a cosmic dance of creation that transcends simple sensory understanding. Ancient traditions encoded profound knowledge about the nature of existence, where mathematics and music blend together, creating the web that sustains all life and universal order. In this section of the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis, we plunge into the mystical symbolism and cosmic structure that connect ancient beliefs to a deep understanding of the universe. The Egyptian deity Isis is connected to Vach, representing not only mystical nature, but also the earth and the materiality of creation. This is where the material reality and its magical enchantments become palpable. The structure of the cosmos is described through various layers of deities and spiritual beings, each governed by different orders of angels and archangels. From the sublunar worlds to the realm of seraphs and cherubs, we embark on a journey through the heavens, where the number of stars becomes so vast that it forms the Milky Way, the path of straw. This is a place of stars so distant and numerous that they almost blend with the clouds. Beyond this celestial structure, we are introduced to the majestic projects of the great builders, the giants, in the mysterious setting of the pyramids. These grand monuments are said to have been erected under the observation of specific stars and constellations, suggesting a much more ancient timeline for astronomical and engineering knowledge than what is commonly accepted. It hints at a distant and advanced past of astronomical knowledge and engineering. In the realm of mythology and divinity, Osiris emerges as a central figure, similar to other cultures that also have a primordial or logos-like being that is the synthesis of creators or builders. The book also highlights the complexity present in the various lists of rishis, the sages of Hindu tradition, reflected in the diversity of categorizations and hierarchies found in cultures around the world. This intricate web of traditions, names, and symbolisms reflects an underlying truth in all religions and cosmologies: the existence of multiple layers of spiritual and divine reality, each with its own role and significance within the vast and intricate tapestry of the cosmos. It is a connection that transcends cultural differences and invites us to ponder the common roots of human search for understanding the divine and our place in the universe. In this part of the Secret Doctrine, we dive deep into the esoteric beliefs, exploring the nature of gods and divinity in various religious traditions. There is a shared structure in these traditions where initially there is a hidden god who is the foundation of everything. From this unmanifested source, the first rays of light fall into cosmic matter, the first manifestation. This process evolves into a dual androgyne force, male and female, personified in the second stage. Then, in the third phase, this force bifurcates into 7 creative powers, reflected in different traditions as the virtues of God in Christianity and the 7 archangels. The text points out that, despite abstract metaphysical qualifications, these 7 forces were worshipped in the Roman and Greek churches under distinct names and as personifications of the archangels. The Talmud gives us a precise explanation of the distinction between these groups, confirming this understanding in the context of Jewish Kabalistic tradition. There is a particular emphasis on the Egyptian god Osiris, comparing him to central characters in other religions such as Prajapatis, Sephiroth, and the Zoroastrian deity Ormazd, suggesting that they share a similar position in the divine hierarchy. The text highlights this multiplicity of names and forms as evidence of a universal pattern of worship and understanding of divinity. Beneath all these gods and their various names lies the concept of a secret and unpronounceable word, formed by 7 letters corresponding to the first 7 emanations, or sons of fire. This word is suggested to be incorporated not only in the sacred texts of great traditions, but also in ancient architectural structures worldwide. Meanwhile, the Tetragrammaton, HVH, a name associated with Jehovah in the Jewish tradition, is discussed as an example of how divine names can be rhetorically manipulated for esoteric purposes. The final He of the Tetragrammaton, in this sense, is seen as a representation of generation and life. Lastly, the text addresses the misconception that China lacks a cosmogony due to Confucius and Buddhism avoiding the introduction of a personal god. It corrects this notion by pointing out that China indeed possesses a distinct cosmological worldview embodied in the I Ching. As we navigate this intricate web of symbolism, divine names, and celestial hierarchies, we understand that beyond the ever-changing names and forms, there is an underlying unity to cosmological ideas that permeate different traditions. And fundamentally, esoteric truth is protected by a complex layer of symbolism, waiting for those who hold the key to unravel its mysteries. At this point in our journey through the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis, we are delving deep into the mysteries of creation and the divine powers that orchestrate the universe. When we speak of Logos, or the light shining in darkness, we are essentially talking about a multitude of creative forces, an idea that challenges any simplistic notion of a single creator. There is an implicit recognition that creation is a collective work of multiple entities and energies, each with a specific function in the tapestry of the cosmos. The Latin Church, while considering Jehovah as the exclusive creator, contradicts itself by adopting a multitude of names for the forces operating under his command, suggesting without explicitly saying it that they have a more direct role in the act of creation than presumed. Interestingly, no cosmogony other than the most orthodox and conventional Christian view attributes the immediate creation of earth or humans to the supreme source, the universal deific principle. Even esoteric teachings of the Kabbalah and biblical accounts point out that this remains true when properly understood and translated. It highlights that in other traditions, including the wisdom expressed in Kippur prayers, the oneness of God is so deep and unfathomable that it defies human comprehension and representation. Regarding Asian concepts of creation, Confucius is mentioned with his great extreme, representing the beginning of transformations, from which, through a numerical progression, the entire scheme of the cosmos emerges. This is an intriguing point, as Confucian and Chinese Buddhist novices reject the idea of a single creator, but do not deny causality and its innumerable effects. Confucius speaks of a harmonious, progressive evolution of the cosmos and its beings, resonating with similar ideas found in Pythagoras' concepts of the tetractys and the monad. Furthermore, Confucianism is presented as a perspective that exalts virtue for its own sake and the practice of goodness without hope of reward or profit. We can say that this part of the text challenges preconceptions and instills a sense that cosmogony and the understanding of divinity are much more multifaceted than usually assumed in simplified interpretations of Western religious texts. We are stepping into a realm where the true nature of the divine is not a singular, absolute face, but a complex fabric of entities and energies working in concert, each with its unique contribution to the vast and endless act of creation. Now, isn't that fascinating? Stay tuned for more thrilling chapters and captivating tales from the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Remember to hit that subscribe button and share this video with your fellow bookworms. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of literature. Welcome to my channel, where we dive into the depths of literature and explore a wide range of books. Today we're going to explore a segment from the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. Prepare yourself for a journey into the mystical world of ancient wisdom and cosmic origins. Are you ready? In the heart of the esoteric cosmogonies of India, creation doesn't arise from the direct action of a supreme god, but rather from the hands of a great world architect who guides the movements of the planets. This idea is reflected in various traditions, even in the beliefs and practices of sages like Confucius. He not only believed in magic and esoteric practices, but also recognized the roundness of the earth and the planets orbiting the sun, at a time when such ideas were met with skepticism or even persecution by Western religious authorities. Sacred symbols intertwine across cultures. The serpent, the lion, the eagle, and sometimes even the dove, all appear in different narratives with deep and often shared meanings, despite their diverse external forms. The study of exoteric religions with their rich symbolism leads us to the root of esoteric truths, revealing an astonishing agreement between the symbols used by different traditions. This tapestry of myths and symbols finds its common origin in the esoteric doctrine of the East. Creation is presented as a circle, an egg, or a head, immersed in primordial darkness, where entities sow the seeds of future existence. The creators in Hindu tradition are both celestial and human rishis who, after fulfilling their roles in evolution, transform into historical figures such as kings and sages. The book invites us to understand these symbols as parts of an ancient wisdom that flows from the primordial cosmic source and is embedded in the formation of the archetypal man, the source of all creative knowledge. It is important to grasp the narrative of the flood and the symbolism of the raven and the dove, where the raven represents the beginning of a new cosmic cycle, while the dove heralds the transition to an era where the spiritual surpasses the material. Therefore, we see that the symbols and allegories of ancient scriptures are not mere folk tales, but rather representations of cosmic and anthropological events, encoding centuries of wisdom and knowledge about the origin of the world, the gods, and humanity. Navigating through the tapestry of creation, here we are, in the chapter that unveils the complexity of origins according to the cosmogony of the Secret Doctrine. The discussion is profound and leads us to confront different views of the creation and evolution of humanity and the cosmos. Comparing the esoteric schools of the East with Semitic notions, we find a striking divergence. While the Eastern tradition refuses to reduce the infinite divinity to mundane representations, Hebrew philosophy incorporates God into all things, seeing humanity as a divine image. In this scenario, the work introduces us to the creators of various traditions, Rudra, Vishnu, and the Prajapatis, or the Pitris, the latter recognized as our lunar ancestors. They are not comparable to the figure of the infinite God, but rather represent a lower scale of creation. The text leads us to understand that it is the higher self, the true ego, that is truly divine and godlike. Delving into the differences between the Aryan and Semitic systems, the 7 gates of creation are revealed, an allegory also found in apocryphal writings mentioned by Origen as a challenge to Celsus. These gates allude to the 7 stellar spirits, and in this regard, the work also weaves correspondences with the 7 periods of evolution present not only in theosophy, but also in other traditions, such as Hinduism, emphasizing that theosophy never refers to these forces as creation, but as aspects of the causeless force. The 7 principal periods of creation transform into 7 periods of evolution on our planet, each with its own expression and specific characteristics. These periods are reduced to simplistic days of creation in the Bible, while in Hindu scriptures, the universe goes through stable and immutable stages during a day of Brahma. To conclude, The text assures us that despite the various names and descriptions, whether they be the 7 gates, the 7 spirits, or the days of creation, all these concepts point to the same truth: the progression of spirit and the 7 forms of matter, evolving according to an unfathomable design that transcends the limitations of human understanding of creation, revealing the complexity of esotericism and our quest to comprehend our cosmic origin and destiny. In this segment of the Secret Doctrine, we delve into a symbolic matrix where sacred animals, zodiac signs, and ancient cosmogony weave a tapestry of esoteric knowledge. Here, we are introduced to the concept that sacred texts often refer to the 12 signs of the zodiac through sacred animals. Going deeper into exploration, different levels of creations are described. There are 7 primary creations and 7 secondary ones. The primary creations emanate from the causeless force, while the secondary ones come from the differentiated divine universe. Esotericism reveals an intricate system of divine orders and creations that culminate in humanity and its place in the cosmos. For example, we are introduced to the concept of the cycle of Manus, mythological figures who play the role of creators and maintainers of the universe. These entities produce various Manus throughout the ages, similar to the offspring of Ildabaoth in Gnostic tradition. The Gnostics are mentioned as transmitters of this arcane wisdom, describing celestial beings and hebdomads, a reference to the 7 heavens that overlay the material world, inhabited by different creatures and governed by the divine mystery known as Iao. This system resonates with echoes of Hindu doctrines and Pythagorean notes, marked by a numerical encoding that reflects the order and properties of the manifested. The passage addresses the dichotomy between exoteric and esoteric interpretations of these cosmogonic structures. It also mentions the power of different celestial spheres and entities such as the sun, Martanda, and other stellar gods who are not children of the planets, but of the sun, the destination of all souls. Irenaeus of Lyon, an early Christian theologian, is mentioned as a reluctant witness to the Gnostic tradition, confirming that Gnosticism is indeed a reflection of ancient doctrine. This tradition includes the complex idea that the cosmos is sustained by multiple and overlapping layers of reality, each populated by different forms of life and distinct manifestations of divinity, including the understanding that the earth and human beings are interconnected and evolutionary entities. In a powerful tapestry of myths and symbolism, we conceive the notion that the world is governed by multiple levels of reality. 7 heavens above and 7 lands below, all inhabited and interconnected by firmaments. The concept of 7 pervades different disciplines and manifestations, being part of both divine creations and the structure of reality itself. As we come to understand, the ancient knowledge described in this passage is not simply a series of mythological stories, but rather a complex system of understanding about the origin and structure of the universe. Essentially, the Secret Doctrine offers us a glimpse into the lost knowledge of ancient esotericism, reflecting the interconnection between religious and spiritual systems and cosmogony. Delving into the mysteries of creation and the depths of esoteric doctrine, the segment we explored from the book The Secret Doctrine reveals a dualistic view of the universe. Here, we are led to contemplate the idea that humanity, symbolized by the figure of man and woman, possesses a dual heritage, a spiritual one, originating from the Father referring to the primary creation, and a material one, stemming from the Mother, linked to the secondary creation. The text speaks of Adam Kadmon, the abstract prototype of both masculine and feminine, encapsulating both natures. Delving further into this worldview, humans are described as emanations of the Dhyan Chohans, those elevated beings seen as fallen angels or gods in exile. This fall is not seen negatively, but rather as part of the spiritual and physical evolutionary process that connects the visible to the invisible. The Zohar, a central text of Jewish mysticism, reinforces this conception. Man and woman arise from the same divine emanative point, eloquently described as the moment when the Elohim, creative entities, declare, "Let there be light," and the light appears. However, this light is perceived as darkness in the higher spheres, suggesting that what we understand as light in our plane of existence is just a shadow of the true brilliance in higher realms. In the presented cosmogony, two creations are distinguished: the creation of light, which is spiritual, and the creation of darkness, which is material. Both are expressed in the opening verses of Genesis, portraying the sequence of self-generated gods, or divine energies, and the subsequent birth of physical nature. The concept of Mahat, representing the dominant creation or the primordial self-evolution that triggers the universe, is also discussed. This principle, representing divine mind, leads us to ponder the inherent potential of the cosmos. Thus, we see a direct connection between the Manus, beings born from spiritual mind, and Mahat, suggesting that mind precedes matter and form in the creative process. In light of this, we understand that the second creation deals with the differentiation of primordial elements in chaos, marking the beginning of form and diversity in the universe. Interpretations of this phase of creation vary among the different Vedic schools, debating the nature and role of the Absolute and the Creator. As we face these profound teachings, the passage concludes with an analysis of the diffuse influence of the Supreme, or Spirit, on matter, and the connection between Prakriti, matter, and Purusha, spirit, reiterating that the creative process is guided by laws and intelligences that go beyond ordinary human comprehension. Thus, in this section of the book, we are invited to reflect on the divine origin and hidden potential at the heart of creation, both in the macrocosm of the universe and the microcosm of the human being. When we dive into the Secret Doctrine, we discover mysteries and knowledge that extend far beyond common understanding. The segment we explored delves into the complex web of cosmic and human evolution, as described in ancient Indian scriptures. We begin by reflecting on how Western translations often fail to capture the true essence of sacred texts, leading to misinterpretations such as phallicism in Christianity or superficial understanding of Plato's thought. Thomas Taylor, for instance, is mentioned as someone who, despite being criticized, had a deeper understanding of Plato than his contemporary critics. And that's it for this segment from The Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient cosmogony and esoteric wisdom. If you want to explore more books like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of literature lovers. See you next time. Have you ever wondered about the origins of life and consciousness? Well, my friends, get ready for a deep dive into the esoteric world of the Secret Doctrine. In this fascinating chapter, we explore the final stages of creation, starting with the unfolding of the first sparks of life and the subsequent evolution of the Dhyan Chohans, these powerful and wise divine beings. But hold on, there's a twist. While animals precede humans in the order of creation, it is humans who give rise to the physical form of animals in the intricate cycle of worlds. Talk about a plot twist. As we unravel this complex creation, the Puranic legend emerges, illustrating the power of consequence and personal responsibility. Created beings carry the mark of their past actions, always. So when Brahma, the universal consciousness, brings the world into existence once again, it is driven by the will and past actions of these creatures. But what really drives the formation of life? It seems to reside in the great breath, the eternal vibration that differentiates into the primordial manifestation of life. Science and esotericism come together in agreement at this moment, both recognizing the subtle touches of the complex dance of life. And just when you thought the creation of animals and divine beings couldn't get any more mysterious, we are introduced to the Kumaras. These beings, derived directly from the Supreme Principle, play a critical role in instigating human evolution, not in physical form but in spiritual essence. They plant the seed of self-awareness and divinity in empty human shells, giving birth to a new and enlightened race. Now imagine a cosmic fabric where each thread is a life, a story, a spark of the divine. Well, my friends, we are diving into the heart of this fabric as we unravel the enigma of the Pitris and the Kumaras in the vast panorama of cosmogenesis. The Pitris, the ancestors of our earthly humanity, and humans themselves are the metamorphoses, or reincarnations, of gods and demons from a higher plane. They are like the various faces of a coin spinning in the eternal air of the cycle of life. And in this game of forms and essences, water emerges as the feminine principle, carrying diverse connotations. But let's not forget the mysterious Kumaras. Known as the sons of the Creator, these enigmatic figures emerge from Gaudapadacharya's commentary on Iswara Krishna's Sankhya Karika. They are called the seven sons of Brahma. And while not all are mentioned by name, they are recognized as Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, Kapila, Ribhu, Panchasika, each with multiple identities and a nebulous existence. Now we enter the realm of Shiva, the destroyer, also known as the great protector of yogis and mystics in India. Shiva is the gardener who cultivates not only the terrain of nature, but also the inner garden of the spiritual man. He teaches us to kill passions and physical sensations so that we can nurture spiritual perceptions and encourage the blooming of the eternal inner man. These Kumaras, the sons of thought of Brahma Rudra, Shiva, advocate for the emptying of desire to reach a higher plane of existence. They resist creating the material being, man. The text even suggests a connection to the figure of the Archangel Michael, described in Gnostic tradition as a being who refuses to create, echoing the Vedic Kumaras. And finally, this sacred tapestry weaves a connection between the Kumaras and numbers, particularly the number 7, which carries great symbolic and spiritual significance. It is a constant that spans ancient cultures and even finds support in contemporary science. So there you have it, my friends. We conclude our journey through Chapter 28 of Part 5 of the Secret Doctrine, Part 1, Cosmogenesis. This intricate tapestry of metaphysical threads and allusions to the sacred septenary reveals the truth embedded in every name, every divine figure. It reflects the totality of the cosmos and humanity's quest to comprehend all that is sacred and eternal. I hope you're as excited as I am to explore the origins of not only human beings, but life and consciousness itself. Get ready for an esoteric adventure where supreme beings shape the destinies of earthly and spiritual realms. Stay tuned for more mind-blowing insights from the Secret Doctrine.